All right, back here on the KSR pregame show, and something I don't know that I ever thought would happen. Joining us, Rick Pitino. Rick, how are you?
I'm great. I'm going to visit my house tonight, where I live.
Does Matthew Mitchell still live there?
Yes, he does, and he was nice enough to invite me over. And my kid, we built the house. Bill Warner built the house, and my kids were just young then. Now one's 45, so time has passed.
Yeah, it's a tough age. What was it like last night with the ovation and being back in Rupp and the adulation you got from the fans?
I came within inches of crying my eyes out. It was really very emotional for me because I was backstage in the back with all my players. And that was great to see them. Even Todd Swoboda, who's gone through a very difficult time, and then seeing all the guys, it was very, very emotional for me. And then walking out became more emotional.
Was there a hesitation? Did you worry about what the reaction would be, or did you feel like it would be positive?
I didn't know I was going to speak. I didn't obviously know I was going to get that type of ovation. But it was one of the better nights of my life. So it was really, it really touched me.
So let me ask you about, you loved this place, and then, you end up going to Louisville, et cetera. During that period of time, did you think I'll be able to go back there?
I was hoping. Obviously it didn't end well for me at the other place, and I wanted to come back to this place because I never had a bad day here. Everybody has a bad month, bad year with a job, but I didn't have both Providence and Kentucky. I never had a bad day, and that's interesting when you're a coach. Not to have a bad day, bad week, bad month.
But it's natural to be in you're in a rivalry, and you're at Louisville. I've always thought it's got to be hard to be at Louisville and like Kentucky, or be at Kentucky and like Louisville. How did you find yourself balancing that?
It's sort of like the Mets and Yankees now.
Okay.
Although Louisville, Kentucky is a lot different. I'm rooting for the Mets. I am a diehard Yankee fan. Grew up worshiping Mickey Mantle, names that are a lot older than you, obviously. But Mantle, Maris, Howard, Berra, they were my idols growing up as a kid. But I root for the Mets. So it's different with Kentucky, though. Kentucky is different than any job I've ever had because it's special. Yeah. It really is a special place. You get very emotional when I told the kids downstairs, I said, you're not going to realize it now because you haven't grown up in Kentucky, not all of you. But someday you're going to come back here and you're going to realize what it meant to put on that uniform.
What's it like in 2012 in the Final Four, in 2014 in Indianapolis in the Sweet 16? What's that locker room like? Because you can't kind of put it like you're both trying to reach that goal.
Oh, you mean
when you played Kentucky those two times?
Yeah, it was a good game, very good game, and I was proud of our guys. We missed a mid-range jump shot, which would have made it very close.
I remember that shot, yeah.
But they had Kyle Keurig, I think, took the shot. But they had a great team.
Yeah. Great
team. And certainly just to make the Final Four was awesome. But for the state of Kentucky to play each other and have this type of, we're a small state, and you had two teams in the Final Four.
So tell me about Pope reaching. I assume he said, Coach, I want you here. And I actually believe the video you made that morning, the day he was hired, actually was a big part of the fan base getting behind this. What made you feel like this was a time to kind of re-engage with this?
Well, because Mark is my captain of a championship team, so it was the time for me to come back because he's the coach. And he's a special guy. I went to visit him at Utah Valley State when I was out of work, and I never knew these two guys would be great coaches. One was Billy Donovan, and the second was Mark Pope. Because Mark was a Rhodes Scholar candidate, learning to become a doctor. Billy Donovan was a shy, humble kid. Both had the same qualities. It was never about them. It was always about what they represented. They didn't have egos. I call egos, edging greatness out. If you have confidence, that's great. But ego's not great. And both Billy and Mark had the same quality of humility, selflessness. And I knew after watching Mark at Utah Valley State practice, he was going to be a great one. He's a great offensive coach. He knows how important defense is, and I thought he was the perfect choice, and that's why I did the video. I'm not on Twitter, although I tweet. My son tweets it out. My son tweets out my stuff.
You don't sit there with your phone and
No.
type it with your thumbs?
I don't
Okay.
I don't know how to do it. He tweets out what I want to say.
Okay.
And I don't have to read the bad things.
Yeah, you don't want to do that. I do that.
So I did the video because he was telling me, Dad, a lot of people are really against Mark Pope being coach. They want the Baylor guy to win. I said, no, man, he's the perfect guy. And I did that video just to help the Kentucky fans understand this is the perfect guy.
But I think it worked. But then I also think it brought back for a lot of Kentucky fans the warmness they had for when they were younger and you were the coach. When you were at Louisville, obviously Kentucky fans and media, probably myself included, not probably, yes, were hard on you. Did you find yourself holding any bitterness? I mean, I think it would be natural if you did.
No, I guess what you don't understand, Matt, is this. I was at a low point in my basketball life. It was the first time I failed with the Boston Celtics. First time I failed. And all I wanted to do was get back to this place. Not thinking Louisville, Kentucky, but just thinking I had such great memories of working here. I just want to get back to the state where I had so many friends. I said it at my Hall of Fame speech. If friendships in life could be the rallying point for someone, self-esteem and so on, then for me, I'd be the Warren Buffett of friendships because I made so many great friends here. It lifted my spirits up so much to come back. But I took the Michigan job.
Oh, a lot of fans, myself included, said they wish you had taken it because then it wouldn't have been a thing.
Yeah, so I signed with Michigan, and my wife said, look, you know Kentucky. You have all your friends there. You don't know Michigan. You know no one. You'll be happier. So with that in mind, I came back certainly. Had a lot of great years. I loved my players. The fans were great to me. But now it gave me a chance to put it all back together. I don't know if I'll get the opportunity to come back.
So when Kentucky fans were coming at you as the Louisville coach, that didn't hurt?
It hurt, but I understood it.
Okay.
It hurt, but I understood it. I understand. When I went to Greece, the greatest rivalry I've ever seen in my lifetime was Panathinaikos versus Olympiakos.
Yeah.
One of my players was the best man at the wedding of somebody from Olympiakos, and I had to meet them. I became the national coach. I had to meet them at 12 o'clock at night at a Starbucks because they couldn't be seen together.
Oh, like wrestling.
So I understood it, but now it's behind me. I'm at St. John's, and it's great. It's behind me. I can appreciate all the memories.
So you can. Do you now that you've had that moment, do you think you'll come back here more often?
Definitely, because Rick Avon, my business partner and very, very dear friend, and I have so many great friends here. Seeing the players was very emotional for me last night, very emotional.
Just a couple quick things because they're telling me you got to go. So let's go. Are you really a UK football donor?
Oh, I gave – well, I don't want to say what I gave. I didn't give a lot of money. I gave $15,000.
That's pretty good, yeah.
And Mark Stoops came in and was nice enough to come in. Eddie Grant's a good friend of mine. They came in to play golf with me. We played wing foot. We had a great time. I love Mark Stoops, love Eddie. I wasn't coming in for Big Blue Madness. I didn't think I could make it because of the practice schedule, but I was able to change it to 1 o'clock. So I was able to make it. But originally I wasn't planning on.
So you are going to the game tonight?
I am going to the game.
Are the Cats going to win?
I hope they're going to win. I'm going to be on the sidelines for a while. I'm a big Mark Stoops fan. What he's done with Kentucky football, they said couldn't be done. And he's done it. I watched the Ole Miss game. Was awesome. Even the Georgia game was awesome. And I hope they get tonight.
You think you'll have a series where you're playing in Rupp with St. John?
I want to play Kentucky. We're trying to work it out, but Mark can't come back to Madison Square Garden the following year because of commitments. So, but we're trying to work it out. I would actually love, I'm sure Mark wants to go to the Garden, I would love to play the game in Arthur Ashe Stadium in front of 23,000 people.
Oh, dude, that would be amazing.
Yeah, I can get that done, but it's up to Mark whether he would. The players always want to play in Madison Square Garden.
That would actually be really cool. Well, one thing I want to say to you before you go, we have a very good mutual friend in Perrin Johnson who played for you at Louisville, who helped set this up. And he has always said to me, you two guys would actually like each other after all of the things. And I think it is big of you to do this. I really mean that, and I appreciate it. I wish you luck, and hopefully we can take a time where we can sit and have a longer form interview.
That would be great, and I appreciate you having me, and I love the Kentucky fans. I want to see the football team kick butt tonight and go home with a smile on my face.
All right, Rick, thanks a lot.
Thanks, Matt.